Welcome back. This is episode 3, and I'm so excited that you are joining me today. If you have been following me since episode 1, thank you for coming back. I really, really do appreciate your support. I'd just also like to thank my friends, those who have been sharing my podcast on that platforms. Oh gosh, it makes me so happy. So happy. They're basically my marketing people. But before we do get started, if you're listening on YouTube, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I've been saying this from episode 1, but I really would love to hear from you, and I mean it. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you're thinking about the topics I'll be discussing, just to have real conversations with you guys. That would be amazing. A few days ago, a friend of mine reached out to me. She had listened to, I think, the first episode. And she was like, I can really relate to what you're talking about because I have experienced something similar myself. And it opened such an interesting conversation about what it really does to you mentally and how socially, and it was quite interesting, you know? And those are the kind of conversations that I want to have with you guys. So please do reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me personally, I will add my personal Instagram and Twitter accounts in this description. Uh, I don't bite, so well, I'm easy to talk to. That's what people say. So I'm not boasting. That's what people say. I'm just telling you what people say. I'm easy to talk to. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. Hey, all right. So let's get started. Today, I was actually thinking we could discuss the different phases of unemployment and what we can do or what you can do to kind of keep yourself mentally healthy. Because I know from personal experience, you can really end up in a dark place, you can end up depressed. I know the mental toll that it can take on you physically and mentally. And I just want to suggest a few things that might help in that area. Now, for me personally, from my experience, I believe there are roughly 4 stages of unemployment. Stage one. Stage one is where you are highly motivated. You are positive. You have a rough idea of when you expect your next job to arrive. You have given yourself a timeline and you're assuming by the end of this many months, I should be able to have a job, right? You do everything right. You take your time with your applications. You make sure that they are speaking to the job description. You tailor everything. You're positive, you're feeling good. And then you have those applications that you see and you feel like, I can do this job. Job is meant for me. Like, ah, doing this would be so amazing. Like, you're excited about the possibility of working or of just doing certain jobs that you see and you're applying for. Like, you're high on positive energy, positive vibes, because you believe you can do this. You believe you have got this in the bag. Then comes stage two. Stage two now is the waiting period. You're beginning to get a bit antsy because you're not really getting many responses, you know? Like, your phone is quiet. You check your phone every morning, every afternoon, evening, just looking for a response. And by the way, can I just tell you, I'm able to spot a rejection email from my notifications. I don't even have to open my emails just to know that it's a rejection letter. Like, just a quick glance, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a rejection letter. I don't need to look at it. And more often than actually all the time, I'm right. So I never bother looking at it because I just know it's a rejection letter. Only when I can be like, okay, I fully accept that it's a rejection letter. I accept it. I've dealt with it. That's when I'll open the email. And guess what? It is a rejection letter. That's how many times I've been rejected. And I don't say this in a boasting manner. It's actually quite sad and funny at the same time. But yeah, in this stage, you're you're getting a bit antsy, you know, you're waiting for responses, you don't know what's happening. It's just quiet. It's quiet and it's frustrating because you're like, why aren't these people responding to me? I need to know. I need to have answers. Should I move on? Should I hold on hope to that job that I really, really want? You know, that's where you're at. You're just feeling antsy. You just don't know what to do. And then comes stage three. Stage three is now where you're now heading into depression territory. You're now entering into a dark space. Your timeline has passed, and now you're like, I don't know what to do. You're feeling so frustrated. You're not sure if it's your CV. Is it you? Do you not have the abilities to do the work? Like, what's happening? You know, now you're just so frustrated. Even going out with your friends is not the same. You're on different budgets, you know, like mine is tight for you, you know. And when you got with your friends, they get to complain about work and their workmates, and it's just you again and your unemploymentness, you know, just talking about how difficult it is to find a job and how you've just been applying and it's just so hard. But even at this point, you're not really applying. You just depressed. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to sleep all day, you know? You just want to stay in bed and do nothing because you feel like, what's the point? I've applied so many times and nothing is working. You're just in a miserable state. You're just that person who's just down and depressed. And then we reach the fourth stage. Fourth stage is now where you're kind of a bit obsessed. I call it obsessive behavior. Well, it is obsessive behavior where you kind of get out of your depressed state a bit. You're still a bit depressed, but you're also slightly tired of being depressed. You realize, I can't live like this. Like, this is not life. Something needs to change. Something needs to happen fast. And so you gather what little strength you have and you go back to applying. You know, if you were applying for 10 jobs a week, now you're at it, you're going at 20 jobs, you're applying for 20 jobs a week. You know, that's how determined you are. And to someone else who may think, oh, this person is highly motivated, I honestly believe it's just as dangerous as being depressed because you're you're not fully dealing with the with what's really happening. You know, you're now playing a numbers game, which is what all people do. I mean, they all say that, you know, the more jobs you apply, the higher your chances are of at least one person applying. But now you've just become so obsessed with applying. Like, you need to make sure that you get as many out there as possible. Like, you you're going hard because you're like, I need to get out of this mess. I just need to get out of this mess. And your mind is just solely focused on that, which is a dangerous place to be in because you're not fully balanced in your life. And the circle kind of just repeats itself. If you haven't found anything at that stage, you can either go back to stage two, three, four again, or you go back to stage one and it just follows through, you know? It's just, it becomes a cycle until you actually find your job. And I'm going to tell you something that I wish I knew back then that I knew now, and that you need to keep yourself busy. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you this, how important. It's so important to keep yourself busy. Looking for a job cannot be your sole focus because you will lose your mind. You will go crazy. I went crazy. You know, I felt like I almost literally lost my mind. I mean, there were days where I just didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't see the use. I'm like, what am I contributing to society? That's how dark I went. You know, I was just in a dark space. I'm like, what contribution am I making to society? What purpose am I serving? Because I'm not really doing anything useful. I mean, even if with the little jobs here and there or whatever, I didn't really feel like I was doing much or I was contributing in a positive way. And that can really be detrimental to your mental health because you don't have any sense of purpose, or you don't feel like you're contributing meaningfully to anything, whether it's to a company, to a goal, or to anything. You're just in a bad state. And that really is not a good place to be in. So I suggest that you keep yourself busy. Okay. It's so important to keep yourself busy. I remember I was just feeling exhausted. I was mentally and physically exhausted. I was exhausted from all the rejections. I was tired from trying to be positive. I was tired from just trying to keep things together when all I wanted to do was just sleep. I just wanted to go. I just wanted to be happy and nothing was happening. I was just tired. So I'm going to offer you a piece of advice that I believe will help you. Now, this is the same advice you would give someone when they just break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, and that is to keep busy. I said it. It's you follow the same method. You follow the same method. It's the same trick. You keep yourself busy. That's how, because if you have something else to focus on, you're not so you have something else to you have something else to do. So I suggest you volunteer, you can you can start a DIY project, you can learn an instrument. I personally like to write and I like to work on DIY projects. That works for me. And I find that if you work with your hands, you really are on the right track because working with your hands for some reason is very therapeutic. I don't know, there's just something about working with your hands that just makes you feel like you are in control. Like you don't think much, you have a set of instructions that you have to follow, and all you have to do is use your hands to do it. So you kind of get outside your head, you think less, and you focus on the task that's at hand. And I really do think that kind of helps. It really does help, especially when you're working with your hands. If you're working with your whole body, which may include getting physically fit, that's also another way. Join a boxing gym, release all that frustration out. That's a good way. I actually would like to do that one. I actually would like to start boxing. I think that's a good way to also release some tension. So if you can work with your hands, or something that involves your whole body, do it. You know, do something that kind of gives you a sense of control, that allows you to just get outside your head. It's so important that you do that. I think it'll give you some sense of balance at the same time. You don't necessarily have to stick to these things. You can find something that works for you. These are the things that work for me. You find something interesting that works for you. Now, because I write for my job and also for other activities that I'm doing for a living, it's something that I can't do as much. Well, I need outlet, let me say. I need another outlet that will also help me kind of relax and get outside my head. So I decided that I'm gonna learn an instrument and I chose the saxophone. I'm in love with the saxophone. Like, since I just don't know. Like, if I hear a song and I hear the saxophone playing in the background, it just makes me love the song even more. Like, it makes my heart sing. And I thought it would be a cool way. I thought it'd be cool, um, release some stress and have fun while doing it, and just a way to get outside my head, which is so important. And that's what I do. So I really do suggest that you find something that will help you to get outside your head. If it has work with your hands, guys, I promise you, do something that works with your hands. I guarantee you 100% it will work. It will help you so, so, so much. I cannot begin to describe the power of working with your hands, how therapeutic it is, and how it really just allows you just to, I don't know, yeah, who knew that actually working with your hands can actually help you de stress? So, even if you're working as well, we haven't forgotten about you guys. Even if you're working, find something out of work, out of your usual going out with your friends, to also de stress. We do know that sometimes working with colleagues can also get frustrating. You don't want to get to a point where you feel like killing everybody. You want to go to the office and you just want to shout and yell at everybody for just being a total mess. You also need to release that stress a bit. So also find something that works for you. And I think it'll really help you create a good balance in your life. You need to focus on more than just one thing. It's so important because when you focus on one thing, it really just you become so frustrated because you're not moving at the speed that you wanted, that at the speed that you want to go. And there are other aspects to your life as well that you cannot neglect because you're trying to reach one specific goal. Life doesn't work that way. You can't stand still. Other areas of your life cannot stand still because you're waiting for one thing to happen. Live life. It's so important. Like time moves so quickly, and that's the thing. You don't get that time back. So do the things that you love while you're waiting for your job. There's no harm in that. You might learn something new. It might lead to different avenues of things that you might like, or different avenues of making money that you will enjoy. You never know, you know. So don't be afraid to try new things even when you're looking for a job, to explore the things that you're passionate about or hobbies that you like to keep yourself occupied. Trust me, it really does make a difference. And when the time comes, your job will come, the opportunity will come, and everything will just fall into place. And you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Your heart will be full. So yeah, that is the advice that I have for you today. I hope that this episode was short. I was trying to make it short because I don't want to carry on for too long. I want to keep you interested. I want to keep you focused and hearing exactly what I'm saying. But that is really all that I have for you. Uh, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you have a good day, whether you're listening in the morning, good evening, good afternoon. Stay blessed, y'all. Take care. And that is it. That's a wrap. Bye bye.